Tom Downey here for the Cowboys Report, once again coming to you guys from Indianapolis at the NFL Combine. We will have more draft-focused coverage for you here on the channel over the next couple of days, so make sure you guys are subscribed for all the latest and greatest on the Cowboys. But today we're going to focus in on the fairly noteworthy reporting late last night from the Dallas Morning News and Michael Gelhken. Two main things we'll focus on here. Number one, the Cowboys coaches, not just Mike McCarthy that we knew about already, but Mike Zimmer, the other hires, are on one-year deals, and the latest on what the Cowboys plan to do with Dak Prescott and his extension, which is not a guarantee, which I think we should know or knew was going to be the case because of the way this team operates here. So first, the Zimmer stuff. I think Zimmer and company and all these new hires being on one-year deals is fascinating. That does not happen very often. Normally, when you are hiring new coaches, they're getting multi-year deals. Coordinators usually get 3. Assistant coaches usually get 2. These guys all took one-year deals. And this, I think, is where the kind of contractual stuff that led to the we're going to hire Zimmer, the Zimmer leak, and then it taking several days really stemmed from there. And there are some understandable concerns about all these coaches, all these personnel, being on one-year deals. There's not much job security there. We talked about the dangers of being having a lame duck head coach and how that would impact the coaching searches that went on for the defensive coordinator. That's exactly what we saw here with Jerry finding a way to get these guys on one-year deals. He doesn't want to pay coaches who aren't coaching for Dallas. That's maybe not the best mindset, but that is where he is at. And look, again, there are understandable concerns on this stuff. And there were your contract issues and woes that you were going into there. Here's what Michael Gelhken wrote last night, I should say, on the unhappiness within the organization. Still, there is some resulting discomfort and unhappiness within the building. One person close to the situation, and so the sentiment extends deeper than the coaches, adding that a little sense of commitment is felt anywhere. Excuse me. Don't love that. Not exactly an ideal situation, all things considered. I get why all parties feel that way. I am at my core worried this team isn't going to want to make decisions, that they're going to want to try to play it right down the middle and not commit one way or the other. And I don't think that's good for morale. I don't think that's good for coaching staff and players. It's not just the coaches, it's the players as well. And I think at the root cause of that, when it's not just the coaches, probably comes down to your quarterback in a big, big way. We will come back to that here momentarily. But do you trust the Cowboys organization right now? This is the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there. Y for yes or N for no. All right, let's talk then Dak Prescott here. We spent a lot of time on this, the pros and cons, the money involved, and I've always said the contract talks were so bad the first time, I need to see it get done before I assume that it will. And that's kind of what Michael Gelhken reports today, or last night, saying, or writing, quote, if Prescott finds himself playing 2024 in a contract year, multiple Cowboys officials told the news that it would be entirely coincidental. It is not part of the larger design to have contracts for the coaches and starting quarterback scheduled to be up after the season. One person close to the matter told the news on Wednesday evening the team has not ruled out Prescott being signed to an extension this offseason. High-ranking members of the organization have repeatedly expressed confidence in Dak Prescott. Most of that stuff is stuff that's been mentioned previously. And we will know what's really going to happen very soon. The Cowboys are going to have to make a decision in some capacity with Dak Prescott in the not-too-distant future. They can't not do anything, even though technically they could, but it'd be no pathway to have real success with this team does want to be a playoff team and make this roster better. But it's a lot more of the same similar reporting of, we like Dak, we want to pay him. Who knows if we actually will? More on that in a minute here. Today's show is made possible by Game Time. You shouldn't have to worry when you're buying tickets to your next big event. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for the sports, music, comedy, theater events near you, whether that's NBA, NHL, or in the not-too-distant future, baseball at long last. They've got killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their best price guarantee. but it's simply Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. That Game Time guarantee means you'll always get the best price. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time is going to credit you 110% of the difference. So whether it's date night at a theater event, whether it's, date night at a concert, whatever, or just going to the next sporting event, make sure you are using Game Time. They're going to give you $20 off your first purchase when you use code Cowboys Chat. That's COWBOYSCHAT for $20 off. Download the Game Time app, create your account, and use that code Cowboys Chat for $20 off right now. All right, back now over to the latest here on the Dak Prescott situation, etc. I've said this 100 times. I'm going to keep saying it until they actually do it. You need to make a decision. It has been long enough. You have enough of a sample size with multiple different offensive coordinators, coaches, etc., to figure out who Dak Prescott is. And the answer is top 10 quarterback. Wherever you want to rank him, that is where he is at. A plan of we're going to do nothing. We're going to kick the can down the line. It's a shit plan. It's terrible. It's not going to work. It's not. You need to have some semblance of commitment. And if your answer is, well, we don't know, then you actually do know. And you should move on. And you should start this rebuild sooner rather than later. Embrace the lame duck status, bottom out, and go get a new quarterback in next year's draft. Your best path, and the part of the mentioning from Dallas Morning News article was that maybe they find some value in looking to not go all in and maybe do the deal next year. It's a terrible idea. You have even less leverage because Dak's going to hit the open market, and then you're trying to win a bidding war. Don't. It's not a good path. It's not a good path at all. Your options here, keep or rebuild. Those are your paths to what you want to have success with long term, and not just wait and then pick one of them again next year. And I'll make this very clear. No other franchise in the NFL would be in this situation. None of them. No other franchise would be like, we have a second-team All-Pro quarterback. Maybe we don't extend him. Every team would do that. Every organization. Even with as bad as the playoff disaster was and the 28 years now, whatever it is, of shouldering playoff disappointment that gets heaped on one team, even though it's not all the 20 years' fault, it's just the last couple of years there, every team would pay him. Everyone would do it. There would be a long list of teams that have interest there, long list of teams that would have had interest previously had you not paid him the first time around. You need to figure this out. You can't drag your feet here. You need to make up your minds already. So will the Cowboys get the Dak deal right? Type R for right, W for wrong. Go ahead and sound off for me in the comments section of today's video with what you think will end up happening with this Cowboys contract drama. My other concern here is I don't know if you're going to make much contract progress. I was talking to some folks, and I made the comment of, yesterday Steven had said they wouldn't confirm if they were going to meet with Todd France, and I made the comment, it'd be concerning if they weren't going to meet with him here. They might not be. Here's the reporting from Michael Gelhken on meeting with agents here. The Cowboys are not scheduled to meet with France at the Combine, or for that matter, wide receiver CeeDee Lamb and hybrid defensive end Micah Parsons reps. All three players are eligible for blockbuster extensions. Two people familiar with the team's thinking said it considers those in-person meetings unnecessary to advance contract-related talks, citing the Cowboys' familiarity with those agents. Okay, if you say so, I'm not sure I buy it, frankly. I think they are going to be with other agents in other capacities for different, other internal players, but I'm anxious about this team and about this offseason. It's kind of a big deal. You've got big players you want to get done. You would like to prioritize those to get them done sooner to save yourself money if at all possible. Here's my crux of the issue right now with this Cowboys organization. What is their path and what is their plan? What do they see happening in the next, let's just say 3 years, because that's a good benchmark when rosters overhaul so much anyway? And what is their plan to achieve their goals in those 3 years? I think there's disagreements within the organization, because I know the coaches want to win right now because otherwise they're all going to get fired. There's not the same urgency from some of your top members of the organization, namely Stephen Jones. And these types of things with this organization, these contract talks in particular, they will always be harder than they should. They will make it harder than they need to be, because that's almost always what they do. Like, unless they get it done in Oxnard, like guys like Trayvon Diggs, it's harder than it needs to do. We'll see what happens. By the way, coming soon here on the Cowboys Report, we'll have a little sit down with Dane Brugler of The Athletic, the best out there in the NFL draft sphere. You might see that posted earlier on Instagram. The Cowboys Report Instagram is up and running. If you haven't already, go follow it. Cowboys Report IG.